All right, we are live. Here we are. And, hi, hello. It is another Thursday night, 8 p.m. We are here yet again. I'm Aubree Lewis in Greenville, South Carolina, here to answer your questions. So, without further ado, if you are joining us tonight, welcome to the Greenville Gab. And this is where we answer your questions live. We talk about all things Greenville, and we have a good time doing it. This is our community. So with that, if as you are joining us this evening, I always think it's really fun for you to go into the comments. Let us know where you are watching from. Are you local here in Greenville and in a specific area around Greenville, Spartanburg? Or are you from out of state? Are you in the United States? Are you from a different country and you're watching from there? We've had our audience kind of grow over time, which I think is really cool. So as you are joining us, we've got a couple really fun things to talk about. We are going to talk about a little bit of the past here, like a week or two, with the bipolar winter weather we have been having. And I've got some really interesting topics tonight, just with some different things that are coming up around Greenville and what I think would be really interesting to discuss. We've got building ordinances. We have some events like we're going to go over the calendar. And then I'm also going to share with you a little bit tonight about what I'm seeing in the real estate market. So you're going to have to stick with me throughout the show tonight because we're going to talk about that. As you are watching, if you have questions though, as we are going through everything, feel free, drop it in the comments. I love bringing up your questions live. It's, you never know, somebody else probably has the same question. I feel like that's a very school answer, and that's exactly how this works. So without further ado, let's go over comments, see who we've got. Of course, we have the Walshes. It's 18 degrees. Now, dude, your weather was in my front yard last week. I was over it. We had snow and ice and single-digit temperatures overnight. I was not here for it. My entire house was cold, okay? Like, you could feel it and the heat was running. Let's see here. We've got our one and only Michael H. from Fountain Inn. Holy moly, dude. Why are you in Fountain Inn? Let's see here. The weather. The weather is nature's way of correcting our 70-degree Christmas. You know what? You're not wrong. You are not wrong on that. Our Christmas was ridiculously warm. It felt like a Florida Christmas almost. I will say that. And Michael, you know exactly what I mean by a Florida Christmas. Oh dear. Okay. So with that, let's kind of get into it here. Like I said, interesting stuff. We're going to talk about, though, the big topic of conversation for, the last 2 weeks. So this is an article that came out before this past weekend. And we talk about the weather a lot on this channel because we have a lot of people that are moving from extremely hot or extremely cold. That just doesn't happen here. And if it does, it is such a crazy weather event that everyone here kind of freaks out a little bit. Here's what you need to know. We got more snow last weekend here in the upstate than I've seen probably in 7 years. And here at my house, we had like 6 or 7 inches. And Chris Justice over there at WYFF was actually right this time around. And I would say that these totals, whenever it comes to the amount of snow that we actually got, are off by about 2 inches because we got a lot more snow than I think anyone was expecting. And I want to talk about this for a second because we we enjoyed it. It was much better than our ice weekend that I talked to you guys about last weekend. The snow here in Greenville, though, was so much better. We played in it, and by the next day, it started melting off. We still hunkered down. Nobody was out and about. And I will say those 2 nights, though, John, that is when your cold temperatures were here. It got down to 9 degrees. And again, that doesn't happen. I think that's whenever it started getting into like the 30s, 20s and 30s in Florida is whenever we had the Canadian Arctic winds here, which I have family in Canada. No, nothing against them. But again, we don't get that cold here. And we are not built for it. We don't have the right clothes, anything. I will say this, it was very, very slick. The roads were not great for about 2 days. And everybody that stayed home, we were great. We had enough food. We had everything we needed because we've been stockpiling for the last 2 weeks. So when it comes to the weather, my kids really loved it. It was very pretty. It fell very fast. And I'm glad it's gone. Like finally, I think yesterday was the very first day in probably 2 weeks that we were able to have a regular routine. So wake up, go to work, etc. So weather here in the upstate has been a little bipolar recently. I'm pretty excited that we got to see snow this year. We don't always get to see snow. For the last 3 years, we have not seen snow here in the upstate South Carolina. That is not terribly abnormal for here. So for you guys that are wondering, here you go. This is just our thing that we talk about. So let's go over here to the comments. I see a couple different things here. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Just sold your house in Gilbert, Arizona, largest town in the U.S. That's insanity. 280,000 people. We're now in our RV outside Roswell, heading Table Rock. That is so exciting. Oh, I hope we get to help you. That's great. Near 70 degrees here. Man, so good. Let's see here. Cynthia, you got 6 inches in Taylor's. Yep, that's pretty much it. And then, yep, more than 4 inches. It was fantastic. And it's definitely one of those things that I'm excited that I got snow this year. Okay. We just have to say I'm excited that we actually saw it. Let's see here. What else we got? Okay. So here's the thing. Before I keep going, we've got fun stuff. As you know, you're watching tonight. We have this fun QR code that's up here on the screen. And that is there if at any point in time throughout this evening that you have questions that maybe you don't want to ask live, or hey, you're coming into the town to house hunt. Wink, wink. Scan the QR code and reach out to our team. We would love to help you out. We've got a couple different things that we can send you. We've got a virtual relocation guide. We have a paper relocation guide that we love to mail because maps and such, that's what we do. So just one of those things that value. If you're looking at new construction, if you can't decide where you want to land, I've got a PDF for that. It'll help you figure it out. So, all right, let's keep going here. Who do we got? Okay, John, holy moly, you got just under 16 inches. I haven't seen that much snow since I was a kid. Oh man, 24. He's got you beat here. 24 inches of snow in New York. Holy moly, that's a ton of snow. What do you do with all of it? I think I saw a news article somewhere like New York City was literally putting it into like giant hot tubs. They were like melting it down and pumping it into the sewer system. It was a thing. I'm so glad that we don't have that here. That's definitely one of the fun things about our area. We get to see it and then it goes away. That's it. So, all right. So let's look at our first big thing here. And I'm going to spend a second talking about what you guys are all here for. I think this is one of the more interesting things that we get to talk about here. And it's something that we cover a lot when I have guests on the channel, or golly, whenever you guys are reaching out to me or the team and you're like, Aubree, your area is growing like crazy. How do you control that, or what's happening? So here's the thing. Saw this news article today on Fox Carolina, and let's go ahead and share this here. I'm going to make it bigger for you. So here, this article is written by Alexa Erbach, and this is going over a ordinance that was specifically written to help control and manage the growth in Greenville County. And as we kind of are looking at this, it's really interesting to see that over the course of time. So this ordinance is actually, it was written and then it was updated and then it was repealed and then it's been updated again for probably the last decade. And if you watched last week's live, if you didn't get a chance to join us on that show, please go watch the recording, because I've had several people reach back out just with some really cool comments around growth. And one of the things that Mayor Rick Danner said from last week's show was, you need to control the growth before the growth actually becomes a problem. And I think that was probably one of the best gold nuggets that we caught from that interview. Was this ordinance directly talks about the actions. Now, here we go. I actually opened up the ordinance, and if you want to read it sometime, you can go to the news article. I can, maybe we can get Michael to drop the link for it in our comments here. But
hang on, I have to pop in. Hi, everybody. I'm usually not on screen.
Here's Michael.
Hi. I will put this in the comments, but are we writing ordinances in Comic Sans?
That's Comic Sans, y'all.
Is this what we're doing,
right?
For real?
I think that's Comic Sans. It's even got a slightly tan, light pink background. Like it was copy and pasted from something. Oh my word.
I can't believe this.
Thank you for your noticing of Comic Sans. I think Comic Sans should just go away at this point. It's a terrible font. Okay. All right. We're going to go into this. You want to talk about it too, Michael?
I'm going to recuse myself.
Okay. Bye. All right. So let's read this ordinance that is written in Comic Sans typeface. So with this ordinance is here for the purposes of developing economically sound and stable county. So it's to encourage this. Then it's also to make sure that there is required streets, utilities, and other facilities, and the services that are needed for these new developments. If you have driven around Greenville, you know that this is coming up in multiple areas outside of city limits. Really want to make sure that they do things correctly. One of the things too here that I saw was, so to assure the adequate provision of safe and convenient traffic access and circulation, both vehicular and pedestrian, through new land developments. So here's the thing here. This also talks about, are the streets wide enough to take on the additional traffic? Are there shoulders? Is there crosswalks? We've had issues even with this in Travelers Rest, in the outside of city limits. So this is something to assure the provision of needed public open spaces and building sites and land developments, dedication or reservation of land for recreational, educational, transportation, and other public purposes to assure in general the wise and timely development of new areas and redevelopment previously developed areas in harmony. Now, let's see here. No land development plan, including subdivision plats, will be approved unless all land intended for use as building sites can be used safely for building purposes without danger from flood or other inundation of form and other menaces to health, safety, and public welfare. So I want to talk about this, and we are going to go a little bit granular on this. So I'm going to flip back over here to this so you guys can at least see what I am chatting with you about tonight. So here's the deal. With this ordinance, what has happened is they've changed this ordinance a couple times over the last 10 years or so. And from what I can understand here, and this directly impacts my industry also, I'm looking at this because I can actually speak to this from a real estate standpoint of saying, hey, like, is this a good thing? Is this something that we need? And I'm going to tell you, I think this is absolutely the right thing to do. Without these things in this article, they talk about how they're like the community, people were suing the county for not putting in these provisions correctly and not making sure that developers building these massive communities were just kind of left unchecked. And that's something that here in Greenville, we talk about a lot. We think about a lot. I get a ton of questions about is the controlled growth. And what this does and what this article really talks through is the size of the neighborhoods. Is there are there crosswalks where they're supposed to be? Are they disturbing the land such that water runoff goes to a different neighborhood and floods that neighborhood or floods the neighbor that sits behind the brand new neighborhood? Ask me how I know this. It's happened. I've watched it. I've had to experience that with my listings. And so when we're talking about the growth and when I see stuff like this coming down the pike from in the news, and we've got ordinances written in Comic Sans. This is just one of those that I'm really interested in following this a little bit more. Greenville. So this really spiked my interest because it spoke about different communities that are really popular. So Paris Mountain, Owens Glen, Pebble Creek. These are just a few of the communities that are well-known, established communities here in the upstate that they're speaking out about the development. It's not a matter of we're full here and nobody wants to, we don't want you here. But what this does is it's showing that there is a active discussion, and we need to make sure that the builders that are in place, these new communities that are getting built, are being done responsibly. And I cannot tell you how many times I hear about this new neighborhood over here, or it was a shame they cleared all of those trees over there, or it's going to be 1,000 home subdivision and in an area that has no grocery stores. They're far away from a hospital. They don't have the right infrastructure in and around these big communities, to be able to handle it. So controlling the growth, that is what Greenville County is, what I see more and more Greenville County putting out into the public eye, is that they are controlling it, that they are making active steps to do this well and smart. And I think that's really cool. So thanks for listening to my soapbox on this tonight. I saw this and I thought, this is really important. So what they're doing right now for this ordinance is they are reworking the language of the ordinance so that what happens is it's clear, it is doing its job to control growth appropriately, because Greenville and Spartanburg counties, Anderson counties, they will all continue to grow. We will get new neighborhoods. It's probably about a third of our market right now is, or I think it was even more the last time I looked at it. It was something like upwards of 40% of the market was new construction. So very interesting article, interesting to kind of read through that and see what growth really they were talking about. And as we are continuing to give you more information, I appreciate that whenever I see that the county is actually putting something into place. So there we go. Good to know. The more you know. And yes, Michael, like definitely, I was thinking about that. We did a video. Golly, it was a while ago now. We did a video where we actually went to a Ryan Homes development out in Spartanburg. It's a master plan community and huge, like multiple swimming pools, ponds, places to walk. It was really nice. And my question becomes, okay, you're adding over 1,000 homes to an area. Can the schools handle it? Are they building a new school? Can the hospital system handle it? Can your services, so your emergency services, can that handle the influx of 1,000 more people? All of those things to kind of think through. I think that's important. And I'm very much pro control the growth. Whether that's a slow growth or a fast growth, as long as it's done with purpose, we'll say like that. I think it's really good. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about something else that I think is maybe a little bit more fun. I was going through all of the different things. I was like, okay, what are we going to talk about tonight? And if you know anything about me, if you notice like what's behind me here, I am a book nerd extraordinaire. I read a ton every year. And I think last year I read something like 50 or 60 books that were outside of my regular business, like self-help books. I read like books for fun. That's what we do. So anyways, let's go ahead and pull this one up. So the Greenville County Library System has really nice locations and has a really cool way of saying like, they're not just check out a book. There's a lot of things you can do with your library card. So I was surprised by one of these. With the Greenville County Library System, there are actually 12 locations located all over the Greenville County upstate area. And one of the cool things here I didn't know is museum and park passes. So if you are new to the area and you love hiking or the state parks, you can actually go check out a park pass from the library. It's free to go up to the closest one to us is Paris Mountain State Park. And usually that's a couple bucks to get into the park. And there's 2 libraries, Greenville County libraries, within 10 minutes of where I live, within 5 minutes of where my office is. And park passes are $100 for the year. So if you're just going to go a couple of times, I think this is a really cool thing. The other thing too is Heritage Green Museum passes can be checked out. I didn't know that. Roper Mountain Science Center passes can also be checked out of a certain branch. This is just really cool because these places usually charge money to get in. So I do think that if you are new to the area looking for something to do, or you're coming in for a visit, I think we could figure this out Definitely. All right, the seed library. So this is also cool. You can go and pick up seeds from the library. You go and you can, it's different flower and vegetable heirloom seeds. It comes with, see, I'm all excited because it's like library stuff. You can, they will actually give you seed packets. They'll give you up to 5 seed packets with instructions, when to plant, how to care for it, everything. So I think this is really cool too, just for me, because I'm like, I would love to do that someday, but I don't know what to do with those. So knowing that that exists and where to check it out, the Berea location is actually only about 5-minute drive outside of Travelers Rest downtown. It's off of Highway 25. It's barely even known as Berea anymore, to be honest with you. Recipes and cooking, digital cookbooks. I thought that was awesome. You can find these in the online catalog. Board games. You can check out board games, up to 2 board games per adult. And they have the full library catalog here, and then audiobooks from the library. So if wherever you are, if you read a lot or you listen a lot, I know Hoopla is one that I've used. I haven't used Overdrive, Libby, or Freegal Music. And I think this is really cool that you don't have to subscribe to Audible or anything like that. You can just use your local library. So just a smidge little fun thing here for whenever you are here in the area, just something to do and something that's kind of fun. What's pictured here is actually the library that is located downtown Greenville. It's beautiful. And back over here is the Heritage Green Museum. Just as a, hey, here it is. All right, let's go over here to the comments, see what we've got. What towns do you see urban sprawl affecting the most? I mean, I think this is, Greenville has a problem with food deserts. Meaning, I think if you, and I forget the exact definition of this, if you have to drive more than, if you can't easily get to a grocery store or somewhere where there is food that you can purchase to take home, I think that's an issue. I think Greenville itself has quite the issue with this. The towns around may deal with this in Greer a bit, with what we were talking about last week with Mayor Rick, was literally Greer is 30-45 minutes from end to end, and it's very spread out. You have issues with services being close by, EMS, fire, police, etc. So I think that's what I would say, but it's not terrible. We don't have an awful problem with this. It is just something that should be consciously thought through. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, you know what? I did this. Before we move on from the library, I did click onto the Greenville County Library website because I was like, cool, like what can I actually, what can I do? So you can, look at this, one-time use pass admits a family of 5. Checkout is for 1 week with no renewals. It's expensive to go to the Children's Museum. And look, you can check out a pass from the library to go. I think that's really neat. Then you have the state park passes that I mentioned earlier. And this what I do like it is it tells me really fast, like how to do it, where to do it, etc. The Roper Mountain Science Center, again, one-time use pass, and it's 2 adults and up to 6 children. I think this is so cool that you can do this. Then we have the Upcountry History Museum over there, Heritage Green, etc. I think this is If you haven't been to the Upcountry History Museum, by the way, they have some of the coolest displays that come through. And I'm always excited to see what there is. And you can actually go and get a one-time pass to go through. I think it's neat. Okay, let's keep going. Let's flip over here to the next one. All right, here we go. $38 million affordable housing development along Lawrence Road begins construction. So this is actually specifically going to be located in the Nicholtown area. Now, from what I've been able to tell from reading this article, so it's going to be 100 units of affordable housing. We hear that term bopped around an awful lot. Affordable housing, what does that mean? I think that here, I mean, this is it. It takes it down by income. Okay, so it's going to be 70% that are earning 70% or below the area's median income. Now, if you know this area at all, it is, you know what? Let's just say it the way it is. It is a gentrifying area. I remember I sold a house right across the street. And I know this is a rendering, but this is Ackley and Lawrence Road. And I sold a house that literally was like right outside of the picture, like right over here. And it was covered in termites, and the owner just couldn't afford to keep it up anymore. It was $136,000 when we sold it. And the house today would sell for over $300,000. If it was, a lot of people are knocking them down and rebuilding new houses on the same lots. And a lot of the people that are in that area just can't afford it. Straight up. Those houses, it doesn't surprise me when I see a $600,000, $700,000 house over here in the Nicholtown area. It is really changed over the last 10 years. But with this development's going to be built on almost 4 acres. It's going to be called the Alliance Housing Project. And it's going to be a landmark in the area. It's really going to change that area of Lawrence Road. If you're driving down in this area right now, there's a old Church of God building right here that has the royal purple pillars on the front of it. They're going to be demolishing the building. That entire block has been sold. So they're going to be putting up these affordable housing units. It is going to be income based. And this is the breakdown of different units and how they are available. Now, this is not a new thing for affordable housing for Greenville city limits. And I've seen this multiple different times here in the area that thankfully, someone is making sure that there is affordable housing still in this area. It would be really easy to increase prices of these way, way more than what anyone could afford because it's so close to downtown Greenville, and Lawrence Road has a lot there that Greenville has to offer. I also was having a conversation with one of our viewers. I forget if it was, I think it was within the last week. And I think about how many people work in the service industry with all of these different businesses and all of these different restaurants. I think having affordable housing that they can actually live in that isn't 30 minutes from their job, 45 minutes from their job, an hour from their job is really important. So I'm a fan. Let's go. So anyways, also, if you know this area, the Nicholtown area has changed considerably. I remember probably 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago, you could buy a house over here right behind where this complex will be for, goodness, the brand new houses were going for $320,000 300 to 320. That's changed so much. So definitely just want to, we're making sure that we grow appropriately. That's it. All right, let's come over here. John, what are we saying? Big fan of aviation and military history. Oh, my word, my friend. Yes. There is, I want to say there is a Confederate War Museum downtown that a lot of people forget is there. Then there's a couple different places out in like Anderson that have World War II, World War I, World War II. Like I don't know what to call them, but they built tanks out in Anderson for a big time. I'll get with you about more of that. Okay, keep going. All right, so the next one is not a surprise to anyone that knows anything about Greenville. So here we go. Let's talk about Greenville County identifies 115 road projects, and what's the price tag? Okay, so I digress here a little bit. Like let's come back and say this. Greenville, the upstate, let's just say South Carolina. South Carolina has been known for not having the best roads. It is something that gets talked about quite often. It's not abnormal to have a pothole that just keeps appearing or getting larger. And I think, if anything, with the growth that we've seen, Greenville County is having to address it. So let's kind of look a little bit more into this. So 115 road projects, and they are addressing, so South Carolina, like the state, is addressing many of the aging roads and starting to finally fund getting these roads up to where they need to be. Greenville County has allocated $36 million to repair the different 115 different road repairs that are needed. The governor has also requested $1.1 billion statewide to also look at the roads. This is just something, it comes up all the time. And if you are coming from out of state where your roads are really well taken care of, you've been spoiled. I will tell you that. There is a difference. Like when we travel north out of state, we're just going to say it. When we travel from South Carolina and we cross into North Carolina, there is a difference in the road quality. I think it's kind of hilarious. But this is just something I like to see, that at least they're trying, and they are trying to do something. See, great picture here showing exactly what we're talking about. Greenville roads kind of suck, but they are getting better. And that's what you need to hear from this, is that Greenville County is working on it. They're always working on it. They've done some really good projects here in the area that have been needed for the infrastructure. I mean, just a couple of years ago, we were talking about the Greenville overpass situation. So if you've driven into Greenville recently, you see the very large flyovers as you are headed into downtown Greenville. We have the largest flyover bridges in the state, and somebody thought about that. So I'm thankful. I thought it was interesting, but yeah, this picture right here, it is what it is. So, all right. So before I kind of jump into my last few things here for the evening, I did want to just note really fast, if you are watching tonight and you're like, cool, Aubree's on, we're live. And if this is the first time that you have joined us, we answer your questions live and we have a back and forth conversation. It's awesome. So if you have something that I'm not answering, reach out. Would love to answer that. Maybe it's something that I need to answer at another time. That's what the QR code is there for. And yeah, let's go into it. Okay, let's see here. Oh, fun. Question's a bit off topic. Planning to move to Greenville by November. Is it to get a new? New home. Is it difficult? There we go. Is it too difficult to get a new home sales consultant role? My friend, as long as you are licensed, I don't think that is a difficult position to find at all. New construction is a very large part of our real estate market, just because we were behind on construction for so long, but we're selling 1,000 to 3,000 more homes than we did year over year every year. So I think you would find a new home sales role without an issue. All right. Not last, I want to chat about the real estate market before I let you go tonight, because I'm seeing some changes. And if you stuck with us this long, I would love to just chat through real estate a little bit and what I've been seeing specifically happening this week, because it's been different from what I've experienced since, October or November of last year. It's big. So anyways, but before we jump into Aubree's opinions of the real estate market, let's look at this right here. If you are planning your trip to Greenville or the upstate Spartanburg, or you're just going to be passing through, I always get this question like, hey, Aubree, what are some things to do? What do I need to plan? Maybe you're not sure when to come and you would like to plan your trip around a major event that happens in the area to get a really good feel for what Greenville is all about. So with that, of course, I will always look at the upcoming seasonal events, and surprisingly, I've seen this one show up an awful lot. Galentine's Mahjong. I didn't know it was a thing. So, but I have friends who have started playing. I thought that was kind of fun. Then we have Juried Arts Exposition in Greer. Valentine's Day is coming up. Full disclosure, I have had my restaurant reservation for Gianna's not even on Valentine's. We're going on Friday with friends. I've had that reservation for 2.5 months. So if it tells you anything, if you're coming into town wanting to go out to dinner pretty much from now until the week after Valentine's Day, restaurants are pretty full and booked up, and you have to get reservations. All right, let's keep moving. Then we have live music and performances all throughout February. This is just for today, actually. And I want to tell you, it's just from my own experience, the Peace Center always has phenomenal shows. And then also, if you're like, I'm not really sure what to do, maybe I just want to go walk downtown, grab a nightcap or something to eat, I would highly suggest going to Coffee Underground and then walking down the hall and going to an Alchemy comedy show. They're really easy to go to. They're not super packed, or if they are packed, it's just an easy group to be a part of. It's something fun that I think a lot of people that visit Greenville or move here don't know about right away. And it's just one of those fun little Greenville things that I love. It's not talked about a lot. Then we have the signature events. And this is where I wanted to note really fast before we hop off for the evening, that if you're planning a trip and you want to be here for something that is quintessentially Greenville, here you go. This is your calendar that you should schedule around. I am definitely partial to Artisphere. It happens Mother's Day weekend every year. It's usually either warm, sometimes it gets hot, and I would say it's a 50-50 chance if it's going to rain that weekend. It is a nationally known and attended art show. It's my favorite. You just need to know that. Also, Euphoria is pretty great too. Click on any of these. You can find this all at the visitgreenvillesc.com page, or you could reach out to us and we will actually send you links to our relocation guide. You can do that through scanning the QR code that is up there on the screen, and we will send this to you. It's got all of this information there. Just request it. Our team would love to reach out to you. All right. So we've got our year calendar, you're planning everything, so on. Now let's talk a little bit of real estate because I think this is interesting, and I like to tell you what I've been experiencing. So the last 2 weeks have been Ice-mageddon and Snowmageddon for everybody that lived here in the South. And nobody was out doing anything. So I've seen our listings just sitting, they're not getting showings. Then I've seen pretty much all of our communications have really slowed down until 3 days ago. So this is what I mean by this. We have seen, golly, at least in the last 3 days, at least 20 to 30 showings across. I have 12 listings on the market. We put 4 more on the market this week, and it's starting to pick up. Our buyers agents are starting to see multiple offer here, multiple offer there. So here's your sign. If you are thinking about, I'm going to wait for the springtime or the summertime here in the Greenville area. Yeah, everybody else is doing that too. And what I mean by that is, here's what you're going to look at. I want you to, when you are looking at real estate or you are thinking about selling your house, whether you are here locally, if you're here locally, call me. But if you're out of state, also call me because I can refer you a really great agent in your area. But what I want you to do is really think through, should I really wait? And what I have been seeing is everything is starting to pick up. Interest rates are at normal, standard, year over year, what we expect them to be. Yes, I am not a lender. If you want an actual interest rate conversation, we're going to talk to a lender like my friend Brian McIntosh, who has been on the channel with us. I'm seeing them in the low 6s, high 5s. Don't quote me on that. Talk to a lender. But that's what I'm seeing. And we're seeing people get off the fence. That's important. That's important to know. And as we are figuring all of this out, we're seeing more and more people that told us, hey, we're not going to move for another year, move in 3 months. Hey, we're not going to sell our house yet, but then they need to put their house on the market because the average days on market is 6 months. And then they get under contract on a house and then they lose the house because their house isn't selling fast enough. This is a whole thing. It's a big conversation. What I'm here to just kind of talk to you about is overall, when I look at this I'm going to pull up the MLS. So this is the multiple listing service. This is the back end of, I'll say this is the back end of like Zillow and Realtor and all these different places you're looking at houses. So I went in here and I just put single family home, active, 4,200 houses are currently active on the market. Now let's do this. Solds for, let's go the last 30 days. These numbers are going down more and more and more. What I'm seeing here and why I'm bringing this up again is we have and I'm going to pull up one more document that I actually forgot to prep it earlier. So we're just going to talk through here. Is this the right one? I think yes, this is the right one. Okay. So let's talk about, if you followed me for any amount of time, you recognize this sheet. And this is something that I really like to pull up for you. So here you go. 4,400 units. You just saw it actively in the multiple listing service. That's the back end that realtors see. Right here, current all active. So everything, condos and townhomes, because I was only pulling single family homes. This is up 31% inventory. Volume up 33%. Average price is only up 1.8%. Median price, flat. Nothing has changed. Average days on market, up 3.4%. Look at these numbers. This is what you are looking at when you are getting into a real estate market. These are the things that I am following, that I am living and breathing, and making sure that when we're talking about Greenville, I know the growth is still happening, but here's what you need to know. Average price is only going up 1.8%. Solds, median price up 2%. Average price year over year, 12.4%. Days on market, though, significant. This is going up. So here's the thing. You should be excited about this if you are buying a house. And if you are selling a house, we need to have a really solid conversation about pricing right, marketing excellently, and making sure that we do exactly what is needed to sell the house. Buying a house is going to be a blast. And selling the house, when done well, you sell the house. There's a good number of solds here. And this is where I like to show you. Holy moly. I haven't seen that number yet. Over 17,000 homes were sold in 2025 in Greenville. That is up 8.5%. So here's the thing. We've got more inventory. We are also selling more houses. You wonder how the growth is affecting Greenville? There's the numbers. I think this stuff is cool. It's the stuff that I'm like, what's happening here? Why? How is this growing? Why is this growing? Prices. If you bought a house last year, you're going to price it for the same price or lower than what you purchased it for last year. Does that mean that we are depreciating? No, that means that we have completely stabilized, flatlined. We did see appreciation last year. And what I see from stuff like this is the Greenville market is healthy, and it continues to stay healthy as we go into the spring and the summertime. And I'm going to leave you with this. If you are thinking about buying a home and you are relocating from out of state, it is not too early to talk to a realtor. If you are buying new construction, you need realtors. Don't go straight to the builder, y'all. Please, please, please don't. There's so much I could tell you, but you're going to have to call me. And let us help you. But start right now, because the spring market started this week in Greenville. And I felt it. I've seen it. And we are at the very, very beginning of it. And it's going to be a busy spring and summer. So buy the house. You're going to get a great price. If you're selling the house, you need to reach out to a realtor like me, and we need to do this. So we'll walk you through the strategy. I won't leave you hanging. This is something that it's always it's fun. It's what I look forward to every year is the springtime, because we're always really busy, but you need to be smart about this. And we need to chat. So let's go over to the comments really fast. Just make sure everybody's doing all right. John, I'm so sorry I didn't pop the map up for you. Next time, let's see here. You booked your airfare today. Okay, so you're going to be here in October. That's exciting. Hello, my friend watching from Five Forks. I miss the Five Forks. Like, I need my emojis. Oh, dear. Oh, you got to work with Christy. I love that. Christy's amazing, by the way. If I can ever convince her, I'm going to need you guys that work with her to convince her to be on the channel with me, because she's amazing and very good at what she does. So, all right, with that, that's all I've got for you tonight. We had a little bit of a longer show than normal. Reach out to us if there's anything that we can do for you. If you are interested in getting mailed a relocation guide or a checklist on deciding where you want to land, or maybe you want to build a house, we've got a checklist for that too. Or maybe you just want a virtual guide. We've got that for you as well. And all you have to do is scan the QR code, reach out to the team, and we'd love to say hi. And if I'm around the office whenever you come in, would love to say hello. All right, guys, you have a good one. I will catch you next time, next week, Thursday night, 8 o'clock. Tell your friends. Bye.